There's been this interesting back and forth between Ted Cruz and President Obama over the Iran deal, and now it involves Mitt Romney and Jeb Bush, and I think this is part of Ted Cruz getting ready for next week's big Republican debate. The president commented on this in Africa several days ago because Ted Cruz, in part of his opposition to the Iran nuclear deal, says you lift sanctions, you give Iran then billions of dollars. Iran is going to give that money, he says, to Hamas and Hezbollah. So Ted Cruz says Barack Obama is going to become one of the world's biggest financiers of terrorism. The president says, not nice.
We've had a sitting senator who also happens to be running for president suggest that I'm the leading state sponsor of terrorism. When you get rhetoric like this, maybe it gets attention, and maybe this is just an effort to push Mr. Trump out of the headlines. But it's not the kind of leadership that is needed for America right now.
That's the president on the world stage in Ethiopia. Mitt Romney, the elder statesman of the Republican Party, in his view, then tweeted out yesterday, he said, I'm opposed to the Iran deal, but at Senator Ted Cruz is way over the line on the Obama terrorism charge. Hurts the cause. Mitt Romney essentially saying if you elevate the rhetoric like this, you distract from the actual facts of the debate. So will Ted Cruz listen to Mitt Romney and dial it back? Listen here on the radio yesterday. No.
The unavoidable consequence of those facts is if this deal goes through, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and John Kerry will be the leading global financiers of radical Islamic terrorism on the face of the earth. One of the reasons Republicans keep getting clobbered is we have leaders like Mitt Romney and like Jeb Bush who are afraid to say that.
This is the ultimate twofer for Ted Cruz. And I think this is clearly part of his debate prep. How do you stand out in a debate with Donald Trump? Well, he criticizes the Iran deal. It's certain to come up in the debate. And he does it by going after President Obama, Hillary Clinton, John Kerry. But then he says one of the problems is the Republican establishment is too timid, and he whacks the nominee from the past, Mitt Romney, and then he whacks the guy who's going to be a couple podiums down, Jeb Bush.
Yeah, I mean, Ted Cruz needs to make sure, first of all, that he makes the top 10 cut so he can sit at the grown-ups table for the debate. Maybe this will lock that down. And you get free points for bashing President Obama. What's interesting to me is that while Cruz is indirectly bashing Bush, Romney is in the weird position of helping Bush, even though Romney doesn't want to help Bush, and they've had this sort of frenemy thing going forever. The triangle is sort of fun to watch. But did you wonder how long past August these can continue to be the parameters of the debate, the tone of the rhetoric?
That's a great point about Romney sort of in the middle. Every day is an interesting Thanksgiving dinner in the Republican Party.
Right. You know, but Ted Cruz, by saying that appeals to a pretty small slice of even the Republican electorate. I mean, some people may like the sound of that, but I think the majority of the people don't like the sound of that. But you're right, John. Ted Cruz is trying to practice these talking points. I think we'll hear it next week. And he's one in the string of candidates who are saying pretty incendiary things to get some attention here, because that's the only way they can get some attention. But he's winning no friends inside the party, so I'm not sure how long his shelf life is.
But it's an interesting question. Again, in normal rules, we would say, "Ooh, that's over the line." But as one lesson of Donald Trump to the other candidates is there is no line, or it's moving, or there is no line, or in a 17-candidate field, when you just a small slice of the pie is pretty good early on. When they start falling away, then you're going to need a bigger piece.